Right, let's go. So hello and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm driving a 1966 Ford Mustang GT. So it has the 289 cubic inch motor, the 4.7 litre V8, and I think a 3-speed automatic gearbox. Kind of press your foot on the pedal and it takes a while to just pick up. Feel like you're going around a corner a long time after you've actually gone through. I wouldn't say the steering is particularly precise. And again, you have to kind of a bit anticipate the corner with the steering. I don't know about the suspension on it, but it's pretty bumpy. It's quite a bumpy road, but it doesn't seem to be coping with it very well, and it's getting incredibly hot. I expected the engine to be noisy, but maybe not this noisy. There's this constant sort of roar from the front. Kind of, you'd expect more of a sort of a woofling noise for a V8, but it's not quite by any means. That was quite a sharp, well, reasonably sharp bend. I didn't really like that. I know that this particular car has had some issues with the steering. A number of invoices mention steering and power steering and whatnot, so it may not be characteristic of this particular type of car. Help if I had it in the right gear setting. It's got an automatic gearbox. I think it was I got it in the one where it wouldn't go above second. That's made it a little bit less noisy. So I've always wanted to drive a 60s Mustang. I've driven a more recent one. I think it was a 2016, 2018, one of those two. 2018, I think it was. Obviously much more modern. I just fancied driving a classic one, kind of seeing how it compares to British classics from the same sort of era, the Mark II Jaguar or the Daimler V8 250. And I know I can most definitely detect that I'm driving a classic. It has that sort of that smell about it, and that all the rattles and bangs that you kind of come to expect with classics. But then it's got this big lump out front that gives you a decent amount of power, but it doesn't give it to you very quickly. And maybe that's a good thing for a car of this age. So the Mustang story is pretty well known, that Lee Iacocca from Ford basically telling the company that the young folk weren't that interested in some of the old boring cars that their fathers drove that Ford were making, and he convinced them to try the idea of taking one of their sort of more standard road cars, in sort of two-door form, and putting a V8 engine in it, just to make it a bit more exciting for the 20-somethings of the 1960s, or maybe sort of teens of the 1960s who had a bit of money to spend and wanted something a bit more fun. The brakes could do with a bit of work as well. That was a hard stop. Take it on a little stretch of dual carriageway just to see how it copes with that. Obviously, being left-hand drive, can't see easily, but there's plenty of space out the back. Because obviously a lot of glass in old cars, so it doesn't take much to just turn around and look out the back windows. So although this isn't one of the best pieces of dual carriageway, it's relatively flat, but I'm still bumping up and down quite a lot, so I think there are some issues maybe with the suspension on this one. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to get out and overtake because there's too much stuff coming up the outside. I have to wind myself up to overtake, so let's go for it. That's not too bad. It managed to pull out then pretty well. Obviously, don't want to push it too hard because it's not my car. This one is for sale at the Market by Bonhams. I'll put a link down in the description to the sale details. And it actually was driven from London to Didcot, effectively, to their unit. And I can understand that would be quite a pleasant drive, but personally I'd probably I'd have avoided the motorway. So would I want to buy a 1966 Mustang GT? Well, those of you who watch my channel have seen some of my other videos know that I've got a Lotus Esprit, and I'm not saying that's perfect. In fact, it isn't by any stretch. But the steering and just the handling is just a completely different world to this. This is quite wallowy, vague steering. And quite bouncy, and I'm guessing it may be that not all Mustangs are like this, but this particular one is. So maybe if I had a better one, I'd be more interested. But I've enjoyed driving it, and I can definitely see the appeal. But maybe this one isn't the one for me. That's the end of my time with the Mustang. It's been enjoyable, but as I said, I'm not sure as I want this particular one. thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.